out of focus. How y'all doing? I wasn't actually quite ready to start, but I figured I'd just go live at least, just to be live and say I'm here. I showed up when I said I was going to. A rare occurrence. I've got some tea because I'm very tired. I've had kind of sorry, I should have muted when I took that sip. I've had kind of a busy couple of weeks, I guess. Or if not busy, then at least busy in my head. Stressful busy. Oh, looks like my little stream bot is live, so I should be live. I should probably check in on all this stuff. I also still got to finish. I think, I'm not even sure what's going on. Weston might join me tonight. So if that's the case, I need to be set up to play some like Warzone or something. But I don't know if he's going to. But I'm just kind of tinkering with my PlayStation 4 here to make sure that's ready to go if he pops online. PlayStation 4 still feels new to me because I haven't had it. Well, I guess I have had it for a while now. But I definitely didn't get it like right on launch. I got it just like 3 years ago. Something like that. It's weird to think that this is like the old system now. Right. I had to turn off the HDCP on my PlayStation 4 so I could share it all with you wonderful people. I'm using the just little talking screen, just chatting screen here, but I'm going to switch over to the drawing thing, and I think it started just doing some drawing. But, or I can maybe do some gaming. Maybe I can do a little bit of both. But I do have to finish setting this up. So, give me just 1 second while I swap out a cable. I'll be right back. Hey! A real Mickey Mouse operation. Piss yourself to her, Theo. Cool. So how's everyone doing? Excellent. You, sir. How are you doing, Peppermint Patty pals? You pissed yourself? Looks like. Sorry about that. How you doing? Good? Happy? Alrighty. Well, I think I'm just gonna start maybe doing a little art here. Let me see what Weston is up to, see if he's gonna join us here. No, nothing on there yet. I was trying to get some caffeine into me before I started drawing, because like I said, I'm a little tired. We got some green tea, so So, I think I might get started by doing some Van Damme drawings. I want to do like a comic strip with like a fictionalized version of Van Damme in it. Jean-Claude, that is. Um, so I've been trying to find a way to kind of cartoonify him, and I've been doing a fair amount of just studies, just drawing his face, and trying to kind of find a nice loose, kind of like cartoony style that I could do. I could draw relatively quickly to do kind of like strip stuff. So I have downloaded just a bunch of pictures of Van Damme. Maybe I'll find one to draw here and do that. Maybe I can even show my thumbnails that I have for a couple of the I thumbnailed out a couple of comic strips. Ooh, I like this one from Bloodsport. Maybe I'll start there. Just do like a upper body thing. All right. So let's move over to the old 2 camera. Hey, look, it's my sketchbook. Look at this. I put down this nice blue thing here. So fancy. I figured it might be a little bit more visually appealing than what is normally here, which is my dirty ass folding table that I shouldn't be using for a desk, but have been using for a desk for, I don't know, a couple of decades. Let's see here. So I kind of started a fresh sketchbook. Well, it was one that I was using for writing, but the sketchbook that I had was out. It was burnt out. So this is the only other one I had, and I was like, well, I haven't been doing that much writing anyway, so I just turned it back into a sketchbook here. I watched Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia last weekend. So that's what these were fun. I was trying to draw Warren Oates. I don't know if I really got there, but he's got a fun, kind of crazy face. Here's some Van Dammes. I kind of like this one a lot. There's something in these kind of like head shapes that I like. I don't know. I'm not really there yet with Van Damme, but I like this one a lot. So I'm going to keep trying to kind of refine this till I find out how I'm going to do it. This is me doing bone studies from Star Trek. But yeah, let's... Oh, and I have some thumbnails here. Actually, I have another sketchbook that's got some on it too. Let me grab those. I'll leave this here for a sec. More Warren Oates doodles. Let's see. Some more Van Dammes. I don't like the face on this one, but I kind of like the style of the body. But I don't know, like I said, I'm still trying to find the shapes. I do a podcast with Weston. We've been watching the Timothy Dalton James Bond movies. So I drew Robert Davi from License to Kill. And I didn't tag him, but I put his hashtag Robert Davi on the Instagram post, but he liked the post, which is kind of cool. He's a little bit of a weirdo now, but what do we got here? Oh yeah, Jodan Baker. So this is another Bond villain from Living Daylights. He's eating lobster in one of these scenes. I tried to draw him just with his lobster junk. But I came to the sketchbook to find some thumbnails. There's another couple of Van Dammes. I kind of like these too. I think the eyes are a little bit cartoony on these, or I'm not really sure, but let's see here. All right, so I started thumbnailing just out some strips just to sort of write and kind of draw at the same time. But the concept of this whole thing is like it's like young Van Damme coming to America in the '80s, and he's gonna try to like make a name for himself. But it's like a very humorous, fictionalized version, I guess, of what it is. But this is like a little strip I did of him arriving in Los Angeles. So this is way tighter than I normally thumbnail. But I wanted to try to see what happened if I just like ink my thumbnails and scan them in and use them basically as roughs, and then just like pencil on top, like refine them a little bit and ink them again. I'm not really sure. Just kind of feeling out some new kind of process stuff. I'm kind of getting back to drawing in traditional media. I've been spending the last couple years really kind of just drawing on my computer, so I'm having fun just kind of experimenting and things again. So that's just like a little 4-panel strip, but I also have thumbnailed out this 2-page story, and I'm trying to essentially thumbnail them like actual size that they'll be printed at, and then I'll draw them a little bit bigger and then actually shrink them down. But all the letters are pretty much there. Like this is the script basically too. I don't really have anything else. But yeah, I just thought that'd be kind of fun to look through, because process stuff is fun, right? Maybe. And I wanted to get some more caffeine in me. But let's do some drawing. I should also probably check and make sure that I'm actually live and everything is looking okay before I just haul off and go crazy. I'm a cautious person. I've had a lot of glitches and such, so I was trying to stream from a MacBook when I first started doing this, and it was just really not working out. But oh yeah, looks good. Maybe. Can't really tell because I'm staying pretty still right now, so I'm waiting for the feed to like catch up. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. Or good enough. I'm not getting any warnings or anything. Okay. Let me just check the old YouTube. How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Bueno? Oh yeah, I'm up there. Okay, cool. Well, I'm just gonna get started then. So I use lead holders to pencil, and I don't usually use it's junk coming out of here already. Which one of these is the small one? This one? That one feels like it's breaking my tip. That feels good. Yeah. I use lead holders, and I usually only use blue and red pencil. I don't usually use like regular gray pencil. It's just kind of easier for me to see like this. But hopefully, the blue unfortunately doesn't show up super well on camera. I've got some different kind of lighting set up here, so hopefully it looks a little bit better. But, you know, I do the best I can. Alright, so let's do some Van Damage. And I'm going to kind of consult this previous Van Dam. Actually, maybe I'll even take a picture of it on my phone so I can look at it for reference. Because this is kind of like roughly the kind of direction I want to go, I think, with the style here. The ability to just take pictures on your phone of something in front of you and then use it as reference is such an amazing, like, just modern day technological art resource. Like, I really take it for granted now. It's like I can't even remember a time before I could do that, but man, it's so convenient. Okay. So I'm looking at a little pose of him from Bloodsport. So I've been trying to find mainly pictures of him when he was like young, because I feel like well, the strip that I'm doing is going to take place in the 80s. So I want that young, fresh face Van Damme. I'm trying to kind of develop this sort of head shape too that's like pretty distinct with his like, which isn't, I don't know, he doesn't have like super insane cheekbones, but they're like really high if you ever look at him. I've kind of like drawn him a few times, and just like every time, you know, you draw someone, you like kind of learn and figure out more about their face. But he has these like pretty big kind of cheekbones. Oh, you know what? I'm doing this totally at the wrong angle in the picture. He's looking up, and I'm having him look down. What am I doing? I recently got some stuff from Jet Pens, and some of it was a huge success, and some of it was a huge failure. Jet Pens, for anyone who doesn't know, is a pretty cool site where you can get all these like kind of imported pencils and pens and stuff from Japan, where they have all the cool drawing supplies and stationery stuff. So this was like the big disappointment. I thought it was going to be the coolest thing. It's a lead holder that's kind of like this one here, but you can put all these different colors in it. And since I'm always switching between red and blue, I was like, oh, I'll just get that, load it up with nothing but red and blue, and like have a blast, you know? But it really only holds leads. You can't really put your own leads in it. Because they're a very specific size to put in here, and you could buy a lead and like break little pieces off, but I kind of tried doing that. It's not really practical, and you're just gonna like waste a lot of lead. Um, and the leads that are made by this company that fit in it, it even says non-photo blue, which is like what like this is here. But you can't ink on top of them. It's almost like trying to do watercolor on top of crayon or something. Like, they're really waxy, so the liquid just like spreads away from them. So if you draw something with this, you can't put any ink from like a marker or a pen or something. So it's basically useless. And it was like $30. So fuck this thing. Don't buy this. It's called the Multi 8. It's made by Pentel too, which bums me out because, you know, I like their stuff. However, this thing is the greatest thing that I've ever owned. It's like a lead holder, but for erasers. And you just kind of load up a stick of eraser. And it's a really good eraser, actually, too. Watch, I'm not going to be able to get it back in now. Now there it goes. And you just click it out like you would like a mechanical pencil. It's super awesome and convenient. So anyway, enough tool talk. Although people like tool talk, I think. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying not to get too like tight with the drawings. I'm trying to keep things like pretty loose with the style of this, and it's a little bit I guess challenging for me. This is a much shorter head than I usually draw him with, but it looks about right. I do usually probably draw his head too long. I feel like he does have kind of a bit of a long head. We, when I say we, I mean me and Weston, who might be up on here later, but we do a podcast together, and it started off as a Van Damme podcast. It's evolved into a film franchise podcast where we just talk about film franchises. But we watched 36 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. So I spent, let's see, 36. How many weeks? 36 weeks? Is that 6 months? Should really know this. No. I don't know how long that is, but we did 36 weeks of Van Damme movies, one movie per week. And so I spent a lot of time thinking about Van Damme this last year or so. I'm trying to I'm gonna have him change clothes, but I'm trying to give him kind of a standard wardrobe like most sort of cartoon characters, which will also help like kind of identify him. But the thing that I want to give him is basically his the clothes that he's like dancing in. If you've seen Kickboxer, he's wearing this kind of like I always thought it was a tank top, but after studying it closely for the podcast, I never really noticed before, but it's kind of this like leotard thing, and it actually has like a zipper in the front and like two clasps at the shoulders. And I thought, boy, that's kind of weird. And then when I was watching Rumble in the Bronx, the Jackie Chan movie, just not really too long later, he was wearing the same type of thing, like basically the exact same thing, but gray instead of black. And he was wearing it to bed, and I realized that it's almost like long underwear. Like it's, if he were to, in the movie he's wearing like khakis on top of it, so you can't see the bottom of it, but it's all attached. It's like a onesie, like a baby onesie. So this picture I got, he's kind of like in like a fight stance, and he's got like, I think I've actually drawn this picture before, but it was just kind of early in my little reference folder here, so. This is not such a great hand, but whatever. I could probably fix that later. Should be probably a little bit, well, whatever. And he's got like this hand out, kind of. It's pretty far away from his head here. The hand position's kind of weird because his I guess his left hand is kind of like coming towards the camera a little bit. It's kind of like in this kind of weird. He's got his thumb out here. It's always hard for me to talk and draw. I'm really trying to be better at it, but it's a little tricky for me sometimes. It's getting a little warm in here too. And the clothes come off. Excuse me while I disrobe. Need to get this sharpened here. I did also get this lead sharpener / pencil sharpener. It's pretty nice. It's nice to not have to keep track of two things. Although it does leak, which I do not like, but it's a lot easier to manage than some of the smaller like lead sharpeners. There's one that Uni makes, like the same people, like the Mitsubishi, Uni Mitsubishi or whatever, that make these pin pens. They make a lead sharpener and it's good, but it's really small, like really small. Like one of those like mini Bic lighters, it's like smaller than that. And it's like $15 and I've lost 2 of them. So this is a little bit better. Or better for me, I guess. Give me another sip of tea here. All right. So this is pretty good. It's got kind of weird, let's see. It's kind of a weird position to draw a hand in. I will do my best. I know you probably still can't see this very well, but you probably see, yeah, you can see the hand shaping out a little bit there. Gotta make sure I draw on these like little clasp things on his shoulders here. The picture I'm looking at, like I said, it's from Bloodsport, but I'm changing the clothes to be more like the way that I'm going to draw him when I do this little strip here. So he's definitely going to have his pleated khaki dockers when I draw him. Which means the pants have got to be baggy. It's the style at the time, you know? I'm wondering how baggy or like how kind of curvy and crazy I can make the dockers and still have them look, I don't know, dockery, credible, cool. I mean, I can't make a complete clown out of him. He's Van Damme, for God's sake. Oh, I'm on my little smudge guard on. So I'm going to switch over to red pencil now to kind of go over this one more time. And then maybe I'll do some markers. I don't know. Why not, right? The times that I've drawn live, I've been trying to. Oh, I don't know why this is so soft and make marking so hard. Been trying to draw a little bit in the day before I go live, but I didn't really have a chance to do it today, so I'm going in cold. Yeah, now you can see a little bit what's in there. Maybe I should zoom this in a little bit, huh? Would that be good? Helpful? And also maybe bring this light in a little bit closer. Ooh, look at that. So much light now. And maybe even tilt this a little bit down like that. Oh, it's a whole new experience now. What was the other thing that I was just gonna do? Okay, so let's see if I can get this zoomed in a little bit tighter here. A little bit tighter. A little bit tighter than that. That's probably just going to be way too pixelated at that point, huh? Let's try that. See how it looks. Okay. I've also been trying not to get too hung up on just kind of anatomy and kind of the perfection of everything. I feel like, especially drawing digitally so much with the unlimited undo button and everything like that, I got really into this, kind of locked into this, kind of like trying to do everything perfectly. And it was stifling. So I'm just trying to, do my best. Sorry, I'm really focusing on these silly fingers here. I think I need to give them a little bit more of a little bit more of a kind of a hard edge there at the tip. Yeah, it's looking a little funny, whatever. Let's see if I can figure out this other hand then. That's pretty good hand, but it might be a little bit small. Yeah, that's too small. Damn, damn, damn. Might kind of touch that up a bit here too. These colored leads don't erase quite as well as like normal graphite pencil, but when you scan them into computer, if you do a hue, saturation, brightness, like edit, you can just take all the colors and basically lighten all of them. So you can make them like disappear like instantly. Unlike if you have like graphite with inks on top, you got like technically black on top of gray, so sometimes they don't come out so cleanly. So it's kind of nice to use these colored ones. Also, it's just easier for me to see like this, like what I'm drawing. That's also a pretty good hand, but also pretty small. Maybe it's enough. Maybe I can kind of just make it a little bit bigger when I ink it. Okay, let's try this again with this fist here. So we need to go from there to there. Essentially, we've got this first kind of two knuckles, fingers, I guess, sticking out here. This one's kind of tucked in. Maybe this is the kind of missing the angle here. They should be going kind of curving up. Let's see, this is kind of like this. Excuse me while I finish off this tea. Alright, let's sharpen this a bit. Okay. Give him a little bit more of an elbow here. This arm I think looks pretty good though. Right now, oh, where's my reference? There it is. Oh, I still got the lead sticking out all crazy. Here we go. Kind of been liking this look of kind of outlining the entire nose. I don't know why. Maybe it's a cheat to make it look like it has a little bit more dimensionality to it or something. I've been trying to kind of find a way to draw that bump in his head without it looking like weird, but I don't know if that's a thing that enough people notice about him, but he has this like on kind of like this side of his head, he has a it's I don't know, it's like a cartilage growth or a bone growth or something like that. I think he has it a little bit on his chin too. It's actually one of the reasons why his face is like pretty asymmetrical. Which is not something I noticed until I drew him. But if you notice, if you look at like the cover of Time Cop and the cover of The Quest and a lot of his like movie posters, you can only see like half of his face, and it's because his face is very like asymmetrical. He has on this side, like on one side he has like the chin is kind of comes down a little bit lower, and on the opposite side he has that like lump on his head. So, but again, I don't know if it's something that like a lot of people notice about him. So if I draw it in, are people just going to be kind of like, that's weird? What is that? Alright, and of course, we have to draw his pleated pants. Pleated pants are not something that I really was aware how to draw, and I had to look at them some pretty closely the other day. I don't even own any pleated pants. But Van Damme's always wearing them in those movies, so. Yeah. Oh, you can't even see down there in the drawing. That's probably for the best, because I think I messed it up, but let's make this smaller again. There we go. Oh, don't want to see the edge of the board. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, something like that there. That looks good. Okay. So yeah, I sketched in the bottom here too, but it doesn't look quite right to me. So I'm going to try to... I like this part, this kind of baggy part with the little like loose part in the butt there. Although maybe it could have one less bump. But I think this leg came up way too high here. Sorry. I was just texting. I was just testing Weston. He's not going to be joining us tonight, but it's all good. We have some kind of fun plans for tomorrow night, which we weren't going to do tonight, but well, I won't get into too many details, but we're going to be streaming some games tomorrow, and it's going to be kind of related to what we're going to be doing on our podcast. That looks a little bit better. They're good enough. This is also kind of a weird, I'm like drawing in a way I have to like crane my head over so I can have it on camera. But it's also a little bit hard to see what I'm doing. So Normally I would start inking, which would be great, but I gotta do the markers first, because if I do the inks first, these markers will kind of blur the inks a little bit, and it doesn't look too good. But I was using this earlier to color some junk, so I bet the tip's kind of dirty. Oh, no, that's not so bad. I really like these markers, and they're not that expensive, these Tombow ones. They're just like water-based markers, but I like them. They have this other tip with like a point on. But I usually just use the brush tip. So let me figure out what my light source is here. I'm kind of looking at the picture of Van Damme and Bloodsport, and the light source is more or less kind of over here. So never know how much to color in the hair. I guess mostly, right? Because that would be darker than, much darker than his skin. Maybe I'll leave a little bit open there. You know what, in this picture, this is kind of all in shadow. Maybe this will be too much for this drawing, but I guess we'll find out. I'm hoping it comes together in the inks, as usual. This shirt is going to be more or less blacked out, so I don't really need to worry about putting stuff in there. Let's maybe get something in here, though. And so basically all this is going to be in shadow. You know, I'm looking at this. Ugh, I don't even want to say it. Should have made his head a little bit bigger and a little bit over this way. I wonder if I could just kind of bring it out a little bit more. Like that, kind of. I don't know. Kind of funny, I guess I'll see. This hand would more or less be in shadow, but I'm not going to blank out the whole thing because that seems like just a bit much. Cow. Okay. The belts down here, of course. I've kind of been thinking if there's a way that I can kind of like duplicate what I do with the markers for like a comic book process. It wouldn't really be practical to do it on the actual page just because mistakes would be costly. But I was thinking about maybe if I had the inks and then I had like a light board or something like that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that right there, but well, whatever. Okay. Oh, I should probably do this belt. All right, let's start with a, should I do a 0.5 or a point? Let's do a 0.5. So I'm just using a uni pin pen, fine point. These are my favorite of the microns that I've tried, of all the various microns you can get. I like these the best. One sec. Okay. I'm going to kind of start down here in the pants, which is a little bit less important, I guess, to me. So that's a good place to get warmed up. Get this kind of details on this belt here. So after I do the microns, I'll go back through with like a brush pen to kind of like spot some blacks here and there. Okay, that seems pretty good. Again, I'm probably just going to black out this middle portion of the shirt, so that's not so important to me. Oh, I've made the line all the way through instead of drawing in the clips. Wow. Man. It was all going so well. That's okay. I like drawing in these spiral bound notebooks because they, if you use something that's like hardbound, you can't really get the paper to sit flat. But these spirals do get in the way. I kind of never understood how some people can draw on like moleskins and stuff like that. Like, I tried, I wanted to be cool on Instagram with a moleskin and everything, but it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's so much harder to me. I feel like people who are doing that are just like, I don't know, they're just messing with me. Like, there's no way you could possibly prefer drawing in a hardbound little sketchbook. I like the way these pants came out. I'm kind of surprised. I guess I'm starting to get the hang of drawing Dockers. This is definitely not quite as cartoony as I've been kind of like thumbnailing in the little comic that I've been planning. But I do like this kind of general style. Sorry, I couldn't talk while I was drawing that hand. Hands are hard, you know. Let's do this other hand, actually. Let me take a look at this one here. Yeah, that's good enough. That's all I'm really asking for at this point, you know? Good enough. Sorry if it's hard for people to see now. I'm like all leaned over crazy now. Gotta get in for those details. So I'm like covering up the light with my face here. Well, that's pretty fun. That's a pretty good one, I think. I think the nose could still be kind of like rounder or like more like kind of bulbous, like Van Damme's actual nose, but I think I'm getting closer. I definitely like this kind of thing for his kind of outfit. Oh, I still have to do my spot my blacks here. Kind of want to put just a couple little curly things in his hair. I don't know. All right. Now here's the part where you go in and you just screw up the whole drawing. Oh, I forgot I have a fresh ink cartridge in this too. It's nice and smooth though. This is a Karataki fountain brush pen. These are pretty awesome. It's my favorite brush pen that I've tried. It's a little bit more expensive than most of the other ones, but it's not crazy. They're like 25 or 30 bucks or something like that. And there's, refill cartridges and stuff, but I'm staring just directly into this white light that's like over my face. I wish I could see or show people. Let's see here. Nah, you can't really see my setup. This doesn't bend down that much. You can see the light though. And it is right in my face. Okay. I want to make sure I put some black on these pleats so they stand out. So down here. Okay. So let's fill in. I'm not sure how thick I'm going to fill in this shirt area yet, but definitely need to get right on the edge of these kind of hands so they stand out. This the sketchbook I'm using, I don't even know how to pronounce the name of the sketchbook, but I've been using them for a while. The paper's really thin, but the logo's not on there anymore, whatever. But it takes ink pretty well for paper that's this thin. It does kind of sit on there a little bit, so it can take a little bit longer to dry. But it doesn't bleed at all, which I hate. I know some people kind of like that look, but I don't like my inks just getting all blobby. I like when you can kind of ink pretty cleanly. Getting a little bit of a texture out of this, though. That's kind of cool. Trying to keep it loose. Right, let's get some. Let's get some nice deep kind of blacks in here. Just trying to be pretty quick with these, just add a little bit definition here and there where things need to be kind of accentuated. That's maybe a one like there. Yeah, I got a little Van Damme there. I think I might have gone a little bit crazy on this shadow, but I could probably get a little bit in there too. His head got a little bit kind of like misshapen because I was trying to like push his head to be a little bit wider to meet the body there, but that's pretty good. Maybe I'll black this out a little bit more here. keep thinking I need to turn it upside down. Turning your camera upside down in OBS or Streamlabs is really simple, but in Google Meet it's not so easy. And I've been doing like art classes on Google Meet, so I'm used to having to like draw something and then turn it upside down so they can see it. It's all a very weird setup I have here. Cool. Well, it's been pretty kind of laid back, kind of chill night, but I think I might call it for tonight. Doesn't seem like too much action, but thanks to anybody who tuned in. Yeah, come by tomorrow night. I think, like I said, Wes and I are going to have a little something special and kind of strange planned, and we're going to be announcing some stuff that we're going to be doing for the podcast. So I think that'll be actually really fun, and I'll get more sleep before then. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my little Van Damme drawing and kind of looking at some of this